Hello friends, my name is Ashima Mittal. I have secured 12th rank in Civil Services Examination 2017. I have often said in my other videos that I used flowcharts, some diagrams in the exam, and I was getting multiple hundreds of queries that how should one make flowcharts. So in this session we will discuss 4 to 5 types of flowcharts which are easy to make, and with practice you can incorporate these flowcharts in your notes first and then in the exam. Not directly in the exam because it is very difficult to think during the exam. Please make sure that you know about these flowcharts beforehand and practice them well. So let's start with the first flowchart. In the first flowchart, whenever we use Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams, like if we want to show sustainable development. So how do I show it? There are multiple components of sustainable development, right? There are multiple components. Let's say A, B and C are the components. So how I am giving a very general ABC approach so that you can follow this in any place. So what I can do, I can make Venn diagrams like these. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and the intersection of all these will come here. So in the examination I used to write sustainable development here in the middle where the intersection is. I am using this shortcut of SD, but please write it completely in very small words, sustainable development, and then you write the 3 things that will lead to sustainable development here. For example, for sustainable development we need environmental protection. For sustainable development we need economy and we need society. So whatever thing you are writing, the 3 components can be indicated here, and the intersection is the final thing which we are trying to show. This is one way of making flowcharts. The second, Venn diagram is over. This can be used for women empowerment, the Venn diagram. In the middle you can write women empowerment, and in the sides you can write security of women, employment of women, 3 different angles, 4 different angles, and then in the intersection you can write the thing which you want to show. Okay, the second is cause and effect relationship. How to show this? In civil services examination, I remember 2 years back there was a question which wanted to link the economy and poverty. So for example, in this question I will make poverty, economy, because they have asked me to show a relationship. So now through arrows, poverty की वजह से economy में क्या impact होगा? How will poverty impact economy? I will write it here. So I will make an arrow to show that poverty is leading to economical issues. It can be anything. It can be illiteracy, it can be unemployment. Here we say poverty. So we can write all the things here. 1, 2, 3. How poverty is leading to economic issues. So one can think about it. People will not be skilled, so economy will be impacted. There will be less number of startups, less number of people who will do business. If there is poverty, security of women is a concern. Women will not participate, and economy will get impacted. Again, if there are economic issues in the country, then how will it lead to poverty? It is very simple. People will not get employment. Then how will people earn? There is no income, so they become poor. So this way we can show the cause and effect relationship, and it holds at a lot of places. Okay, coming to the next type. Yes, the next type, the third type is location. When we are attempting questions of international relation, when we are attempting questions of geography, history, we have to show location. It really helps to show the examiner that we have a geographical context of what we are writing. So please make sure that you know how to make the map of India in a very short time. See, this is a map of India in a few seconds, and it is a very rough map, but it looks like India. So this much is enough that you have to practice map really fast. Otherwise, अगर इसमें टाइम लगेगा तो हम एग्जाम में स्किप करते जाएंगे मैप्स को. जितना जल्दी हम बना पाएंगे उतने हम एग्जाम में फास्ट बना के कम टाइम में भी ज़्यादा मार्क्स ला सकते हैं. नाउ लेट्स से इफ़ यू हैव टू शो द वेस्टर्न इंडिया, only this part of India, so I don't need to make it completely. I will make only this part. If I cover all of it, I will make only this part in the exam. I'll rub this. So don't waste your time in making the complete map of India. Just make the western part. If it is northern part, draw this much and that is fine. You here, what we have to do is write that this map figure western part of India, western India. So this much is enough and the examiner will understand. Also, if I am marking any location here, let's say I am marking Mumbai somewhere here, right? If I am marking Mumbai somewhere here, and then I will use a particular symbol which I will also use here, and I will name the location. This is called legend, and it is very important in the exam to make this. Otherwise, there is no hint to the examiner what exactly are you trying to show. You can suppose I have to write about the oil availability in India, places where oil is found. So I can mark here in Assam somewhere, and then here I'll put a dot and write oil is found at these places or oil regions. So this is the third approach. While making international relation diagrams, you can make India very small, like India in this much area, and then the other regions. For this, in this year, there was a question on Southeast Asia. So I drew a map of India and Southeast Asia and showed the interlinkages. There was a question on Kaladan project. So I had drawn India, Myanmar, and then how the Kaladan will take its shape. So this way you can give a lot of clarity to your paper and add marks. Okay, then the fourth type, when we have to show the different components of something. Components of, let's say, empowerment. So there are multiple approaches of showing components. So why we are using different approaches? Because if we use the same type of flowchart in every answer, it will get very monotonous. So to give every answer a unique form, we are using different types of flowchart. So here I will write women empowerment. I am using shortcuts right now, but you should write it completely in the examination. Then I will draw the smaller things which will lead to women empowerment. For example, giving voice to the women, giving security to the women. Third component here. So this is one approach of drawing the components. Flowcharts really help us when there is less time and we want to show more. So this will be very easy to make. Otherwise, you will have to write the components of women empowerment are as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is much more easier and clear in presentation. The next is for international relation. Yes, let's say that the question is comparing Indian and US economy. So now everybody will write the comparisons, but to add something unique to your answer, what you can do is you can make India and make US. So this shows the size of the economy of the two countries, India and US. And here you can write GDP, GDP of India, GDP of US, per capita income, then the figures. Like this, if we have to compare the economy of India and US, this approach really works and it saves a lot of time, and you can put numbers very simply and clearly on the paper. Next is comparing two entities. Comparing two entities. In anthropology, there was a question on difference between monozygotic and dizygotic twins. There are many such questions when you have to compare two entities, two procedures, and what we generally do is draw a line and write about the two. One other approach which can be followed is that we write about the two entities like this: entity 1, entity 2, and then we write the points. So this is also one approach of making a change in your presentation. Then the 7th one, here we show, this is the most easily used and most understandable flowchart. Example, I have to write about the WASH program. There is a program called WASH which the government has started for sanitation hygiene. This question was there in this year's examination. So what one can do is write WASH and write about the characteristics. When we have to write about characteristics of something, characteristics of some program, characteristics of NREGA, smart city, it can be anything. So we draw a cloud like this, write the main thing here, and then the characteristics with arrows. And don't forget to put all of this in a box, because it restricts the usage of page and gives a very clear look to the lines here and to the lines here. Otherwise it may seem like a chaos on the paper. One other approach is, when I wrote about GST in the examination, the question was on the challenges, problems, implementation of GST. It did not ask to write GST definition or features, but because the GST was fresh in those times, what I did was, if this was my page of the examination, then I used this much space on the page to write about the GST and its components. It was not asked, but I did it to add value to my answer and to show the examiner that I am clear with the basics. So in 2 lines I wrote about GST, and then I used this diagram to explain the characteristics. I am not able to recall the question clearly, but I did something like this in the examination. Then there is next approach. Yes, then there is next approach, 8th one, to writing the pros and cons. If the government is asking about a program, what are the pros and cons of this program? So to save on time, what we can do, we can write the merits of the program here, merits, this is the page, this is the margin of the page, merits, and then the merits like this. So generally what we do is, we write the merits of the so and so is, the merits are so and so, and then 1 write it, 2 write it. So what happens is that these kind of things, अगर हम ऐसे लिखेंगे इसको, तो ये कहीं ना कहीं हमारे पूरे आंसर में छुप जाएगी, क्योंकि पूरा आंसर भी लाइंस में आ रहा है, ये भी लाइंस में आ रहा है. तो अगर हम इस तरीके से दिखाएं तो इसको क्लियरली एग्जामिनर को समझ आएगा कि वी आर राइटिंग अबाउट द मेरिट्स, क्योंकि यहाँ पे ज़्यादा क्लियरली प्रेजेंट हो पा रहा है. सो वी कैन राइट ओनली द कीवर्ड्स हियर, नॉट द कंप्लीट सेंटेंसेस. दैट इज अनदर बेनिफिट ऑफ मेकिंग फ्लो चार्ट्स. यहाँ पे पूरा सेंटेंस लिखना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पे वी कैन राइट द कीवर्ड्स. Similarly for cons, you can make another one here, problems in this, or deficiencies or difficulties in this program, challenges, and then we can write 3 to 4, only the keywords. So this way we can draw the pros and cons. Then the 9th one, is called the life cycle approach. In this, what we do is, we try to analyze a problem with its timeline. So if the question is on women empowerment, why are women not empowered, or what are the crimes that are happening against women, then what we can do is, we can use the timeline of how a girl grows. So whenever a girl is less than 1 year, she is called an infant. And what are the problems she is facing? Infanticide, female infanticide. And before that, when she is a fetus, so fetus, infant, then she is a girl, child, then she is a teenager, adolescence, then she is an adult, and then she is an old aged person. So this is called the life cycle. Now for every life cycle which every part of the life cycle which I am writing, we can easily recognize, any one of us, what are the problems girls are facing. So as a girl child, she is not able to get her education. So you can write no education. And what else? Health issues. Adolescent mein what is happening? Child marriage. Adult mein what is happening? Negligence, menstrual hygiene issues. So with timeline, our thinking process gets extremely clear, and the examiner also knows that we have covered all the issues in a very comprehensive manner. So this is one approach. So we just discussed the life cycle approach. In this year's examination, there was a question on the development of nuclear technology in India. There also the life cycle approach came in handy for me. So what I did was that I made some things like this, 3 stages, connected them, 3 stages like this connected, and then I wrote the years, 3 important years that led to nuclear development in India, and then here I wrote what all happened in those times, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this way also you can be very different and unique in your answer presentation. Then coming to the next 10th way of making it, we often, while writing solutions, write about multi-pronged approach, that a multi-pronged approach has to be followed. So how that can be presented, you can write here whatever, multi-pronged approach. Let's say we want to talk about 3 approaches, 3 solutions. So I'll make pillars like this. Solution number 1, keywords of it here. Solution number 2, keywords here. Solution number 3. So you have to use very small handwriting for this. Solution 1, solution 2, solution 3, and here we are writing multi-pronged approach. Please do not use short forms like this. In the examination, we have to completely write multi-pronged approach here. Then solution 3. Now, what will happen with solution 1? The outcome can be written here. Okay. Suppose I am writing multi-pronged approach to make sure that women empowerment happens. So the first solution will be giving security to the women. If I give security, what will happen? Women will be free, women will be more comfortable in coming out of their households and participate in the social and economic life of the country. So we can write here, women will be free to participate. Then the solution number 2 is focusing on women's health, let's say. So what will happen if women is healthy? The child will be healthy, the future generations will be healthy, she will be more productive at workplace. So that can be written here, more productive women, healthier families. Then with solution number 3, whatever will happen, the outcome here. Now if all these 3 get fulfilled, the final outcome what will be? Women empowerment and progress of the society. So this way we can present a very logical thinking of any issue. This is how we write the solution. Finally, the 11th one. Suppose I have to write about the growth factors of Indian agriculture. We have to write about growth factors of Indian agriculture. So how we can write it? We can write here. There are 3 factors that lead to good agriculture. One is the supply side, one is the demand side, and one is the, let's say, policy level things which have to be done. And here I will write growth factors of Indian agriculture. Now whenever we write our answers, what we do is the growth factors of Indian agriculture are as follows, and we write 6 points, 7 points. That way what we are not doing is structuring those points. Here we have structured that supply side के ये points है, demand side के ये है, policy के ये है. तो supply side के points क्या हो सकते हैं? Seeds, land, rainfall. Demand side के points क्या हो सकते हैं? Market, linkage, logistics. So this way we are presenting the same information in a more structured manner. Similarly, policy के बहुत सारे points हो सकते हैं जिससे हमारी economy, जैसे कि land leasing is a policy matter which can be written. So we read about multiple things, but in the examination giving it a good structure is important. So this way we can make this flowchart as well. Yes, I think I'm done. Only the last flowchart. I forgot to tell that, 12th one. Yes, so the final flowchart, 12th one. Sometimes the question is like that you see a vicious cycle is getting formed. In case of women too, we see a vicious cycle is getting formed, right? Because of patriarchy, women are not considered equal member, equal citizen of the society. If they are not considered equal, what is happening? Lack of security, lack of employment, lack of skill development, lack of education, right? After that, what will happen? Women will always be the considered second member. Patriarchy will always win. So it's a vicious cycle which is going on. So to show such cycles, particularly in economy, we can write one thing. Let's say patriarchy. I write. Then I write the second. What is happening because of patriarchy? Women are considered secondary citizens. Then because of this, what will happen? If she is considered secondary, she will not get educated, skilled enough. Focus will not be on her health. This what will happen? Child marriage. Women will be considered a liability. Then what will happen? So it's a patriarchy. Patriarchy will get reinforced. So to break this, women has to come out of it. So to show such vicious cycles or to show such chains that get formed sometimes, we can use this approach, and then this will get connected to patriarchy again. So these are 12 types of flowchart, I would say, which I try to incorporate first in my notes and then in the exam. Also make sure that if there are 2 pages given to you to write, you do not consume 1 page for this flowchart. This flowchart should come on the side or consume a limited space of your paper, because all the aspects are important apart from this flowchart. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it helps you, and you are watching Delhi Knowledge Track. Thank you so much.